What's the biggest promise your parents broke? I was 15 when my parents promised me one thing. No matter what happens, we'll never split the family. Sounds noble, right? Like something you'd put on a Hallmark card. Spoiler alert. They didn't just break it, they crushed it, lit it on fire, and posted the ashes on Facebook with inspirational hashtags. It started when my little brother Ethan, 10 at the time, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. At first, my parents played perfect. Every appointment, every checkup, they were front row like they were auditioning for best supporting parents in a medical drama. Matching bracelets, teary speeches, even a Facebook group called Our Family's Journey. People at church applauded, nurses smiled. It was all very Oscar-worthy. But like every blockbuster, the sequel sucked. By month 2, the family journey turned into my journey. Mom suddenly had emergencies at work every time Ethan had treatment. Dad suddenly had very important meetings during every crisis. Guess who was left holding the insulin pen? Me, the 15-year-old. One night, Ethan's sugar crashed at 2 a.m. I screamed for my parents. Mom rolled over and muttered, "Handle it, you know what to do." Dad didn't even twitch. So there I was, pouring juice into my brother's mouth whispering, "Please don't die, please don't die," while the people who made us biologically snored. If there's a parenting Olympics, my folks were competing for most creative way to pretend someone else will handle it. By 16, I was Ethan's nurse, nutritionist, chauffeur, therapist, and apparently stand-in parent. My GPA tanked, teachers called home, and Mom said, "Oh, she's just lazy." Right, lazy. Because nothing screams lazy like memorizing insulin to carb ratios at midnight while trying not to have a breakdown. The breaking point? Ethan's 11th birthday. Mom promised him a homemade cake. He was excited all week. Instead, she went to a spa. Dad rolled in 3 hours late with a single grocery store cupcake, like he was the hero of the story. Ethan looked at me with tears in his eyes and whispered, "Can you at least light a candle?" That night, I baked the ugliest cake of my life. Lopsided, half burnt. But I sang happy birthday while my parents watched TV in the other room. Picture perfect family, right? Then came his hospital admission. A whole week of isolation. And doctors said someone had to be there 24/7. My parents nodded like politicians promising tax cuts. Day 1, Mom had a migraine. Dad had an unmissable dinner. Translation, Netflix and nachos. I stayed all 7 days. Slept in a chair, ate stale crackers, showered in hospital sinks. And every night, Ethan would ask, "You think they'll come tomorrow?" I'd lie through my teeth. "Yeah, of course. They're just running late." They never showed. But oh, when discharge day came, my parents waltzed in like they'd been on the front lines of war. Balloons, new clothes, professional photographer, Facebook caption, "We never gave up. Family is everything." The comment section, "What incredible parents." Meanwhile, the actual parent, me, was trying not to scream in the background. By 18, I was done. I graduated, got a job, and filed for guardianship of Ethan. Court asked my parents basic stuff. Well, what's his insulin dose? Who's his doctor? What's his pump brand? They couldn't answer a single thing. Not one. The judge looked at me, barely 19, and said, "Custody granted." My parents looked shocked, like villains who didn't realize the movie was about them. And then karma came. 2 years later, Dad collapsed at work. Heart failure. Suddenly, they remembered family mattered. "We need you to drive him to treatments, manage meds, be here for us." Oh, now family means something when it's their bodies on the line. Convenient. I did show up, sat in the waiting room, watched their nervous faces, and when the nurse called Dad's name, I stood up, grabbed my bag, and said, "You broke your promise. Don't expect me to keep one you never honored." Then I walked out. That night, Ethan and I made dinner together. He pricked his own finger, logged his own numbers, proud of himself. He said, "At least we've got each other." And that's when it hit me. He was right. We didn't lose a family. We built one. Just smaller, quieter, and actually real. So yeah, the biggest promise my parents ever broke wasn't just about being there. It was about proving that sometimes the people who swear to protect you are the first ones to abandon you. And the cruel irony? They call me selfish.